Hey there, welcome to Module 8. In this course, we will cover quality and performance management. In this module, we will get an understanding for the importance of quality and performance monitoring, learn how to use analytics and reporting features for monitoring, and understand how to monitor queue and agent performance. We will also explore gamification. If you are keeping track, this module will cover the quality and performance and engagement sections. Let's get started. Quality management allows managers to record and evaluate agents and interactions to improve the contact center experience. Managers can also coach agents to improve agent performance. To start, we take a look at the encryption keys. To access the encryption key management page, within the admin interface under Quality, click Encryption Keys. Within the configuration, it defaults to the Recordings tab. From here, after you click the Edit button, you can change the key configuration type. With Genesys Cloud Managed Keys, you can change the KDK in the encryption key UI. With Local Key Manager, you must change keys that exist in your key service. With AWS KMS Symmetric, you can change the symmetric key in AWS KMS, and then change the KEK in the encryption key UI. From the periodic key change, choose how often new keys should be generated. You can choose daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or never. Click Save when finished. You can also choose to change the keys now by pressing the button. Within the Conversations and Data Actions tab, you are able to change the key configuration type. You can choose between None and AWS KMS Symmetric. Click Save when finished. Next, we will create an evaluation form. Quality administrators manage the evaluation forms used to score recordings and agent performance. Evaluation forms measure script adherence, compliance with business practices, or customer satisfaction. Under the Quality section, click on Evaluation Forms. The Evaluation Forms page is a dashboard for form management activities, which lists form names and the date and time that each form was last modified. This information represents the form's version ID. Let's go ahead and create one by pressing the Create button. In the Evaluation Form Name field, enter a name for the evaluation form. In the Question Group Name field, enter a name for the first question group. A question group is a label that categorizes a set of questions, for example, product knowledge. Select the Scoring tab and then turn on the Scaled Scoring on option. If scoring is enabled, in the Group Score Scaling Factor field under the question group name, assign a numeric weighting factor for the question group. In the Question Group Properties area, there are two options. An enabled question group allows evaluators to select NA, which skips all questions in the group. Answers default to specifies whether you assign answers to the highest scoring answer or N by default. Select Add Question and select one of the question types: multiple choice, yes, no, or range. Let's start with multiple choice, so click on it. In the Question field, enter the question name. In the Help Text field, add explanatory text about the question. In the evaluation form, the explanatory text appears as a tooltip. To preview the explanatory text, click Preview Form Off and then move your cursor over the question mark. To return to edit mode, click Preview Form On. Enter an answer in each of the fields provided. Click Add Answer to add another answer to the multiple choice question. Selecting the Add Evaluation Assistance condition option enables you to configure the system to automatically fill out evaluation forms based on what speech and text analytics detects throughout the interaction. Add numeric values to the points box. Generally, correct answers have a value of 1. Incorrect answers have a value of 0. Optionally, select one or more of the following options. Add N as an answer. In the evaluation form, an N checkbox appears. If the respondent selects NA, then other choices in the question are cleared and unavailable. Require additional comments. This selection requires a respondent to add comments after an answer. Display this question conditionally. This option allows you to set criteria for whether this question is shown. A critical question requires the respondent to select one of only two possible answers. Assign the correct answer a value of 1. Assign the incorrect answer a value of 0. If the respondent selects the incorrect answer, and the question is a fatal question, when an evaluator scores the evaluation, the fail result is assigned. To select fatal question, first select critical question. To delete an answer, select the answer and click Trash. To reuse this question on other forms, click Save as Template. Add a descriptive name in the template name field and then click Save. To add the exact question to your question favorites list, select Make this a favorite template. To complete the question, click Done. To add a range question, click Range from the Add Question dropdown. Fill out the question and help text as you did in the multiple choice question. You will notice it is basically the same setup as the multiple choice, but this time you will give a range. So for the question, how was the agent interaction with the customer? You can give a 1 to 5 range and associate the points based on how good the ranking was. As you see, the answer properties and scoring is the same as the multiple choice. One additional option under Logic allows you to display the question conditionally. When checked, you can choose when to display this question, or any question after the first question, based on the response or responses to the previous questions on the form. To add a yes-no question, click Yes-No from the Add Question dropdown. Fill out the question and help text as you did in the multiple choice question. You can see that all of the choices are the same. The only difference is the answers, which are yes or no. Once you are satisfied with the different options, click Done. Click Save in the bottom right. That saves the form. Continue adding questions until you are done. Click on Publish Form to publish the form and make it available to the evaluators. You should notice the form is now on the Evaluation Forms page. Let's keep in line with forms and move on to survey forms. Web surveys allow you to invite a customer to provide feedback about a previous interaction with your contact center. After an interaction, Genesys Cloud sends the customer an invitation email containing a link to the survey. Complete 3 main procedures to send web surveys: create the survey form, set up the survey invite flow in Architect, and create a policy to send the survey to customers. Click Survey Forms under the Quality section and the Survey Forms page will display. Click the Create button. Select a survey language. Genesys Cloud translates the survey form editor and default survey text, such as clear or characters remaining, to your chosen language. However, Genesys Cloud does not translate any text you add, such as questions or directions. To see a preview of how the survey will appear to customers, click Preview Form on. To return to editing the survey, click Preview Form off. Under Survey Form Name, enter a name for your survey. Customers completing the form do not see the survey name. Optionally, to add a header to your survey, click Add Header. You can add information about your company, instructions, or images to the header. Question groups allow you to group questions together. For example, you could create question groups for questions about agent demeanor, agent knowledge, satisfaction, or IVR, or automated system. Under Question Group Name, enter a name for the group of questions. Customers do not see the question group name when they take the survey. To add a question, click Add Question. Select the appropriate question type. You can add the following question types. Multiple choice allows the customer to select a single answer from a list of choices to respond to a question. Yes-No allows the customer to select yes or no to respond to a question. Range allows the customer to select from a range, for example 1 to 5, to respond to a question. Net Promoter Score allows the customer to select from a range of 0 to 10. This question type also allows you to request a follow-up explanation. You can add only one Net Promoter Score question per survey. Free Text allows the customer to enter text in a text box to respond to a question. Set a maximum character limit for the response. Read Only allows you to write instructions or messages. Does not allow the customer to respond. The directions are exactly like creating questions for evaluation forms. After you have completed adding the questions, click Save, then Publish Form. You should now see the survey form listed as published in the Survey Forms page. Surveys are an excellent way to get feedback on what the caller experience was. This can assist supervisors to better handle any issues before they become a bigger issue. Next, we will look at policies. Policies specify which interaction recordings to retain or delete. You can also use policies to automate some repetitive quality management tasks, such as creating evaluations or starting a calibration. Policies do not generate quality management evaluations for interactions that took place prior to enabling the policy. Policies only apply to interactions that happen after you enable the policy. Under the Quality section, click Policies. Click on Create New Policy. Enter a name for the policy. Enter a description of the policy's function. Click a Media Type tab and enable or disable the policy for each media type. By default, call is enabled and chat, email, and message are disabled. Fill out the matching criteria and actions to perform for each media type separately. Conversation directions indicates whether to capture inbound or outbound interactions. Specific users matches against one or more contact center users. Specific work teams matches against interactions serviced by one or more work teams. Time sets matches against interactions during the specified time ranges. Specific queues matches against one or more queues. Specific wrap-up codes matches against one or more wrap-up codes. Date range matches against interactions on certain dates. Conversation duration matches against a specified conversation duration. Conversation duration includes any part of the interaction, including time in queue and after call work. Customer participation only for email and message interactions during which a customer participated or a customer did not participate. After setting the matching criteria, we will set the actions to perform when the criteria matches. Recording retention specifies whether to retain or delete a recording. Retain recordings. You must retain interactions for evaluations, calibrations, and surveys. Retrieve recorded interactions from the Interactions Details page. Do not save recordings. Interactions are not saved for long-term storage. If selected, other recording options, as well as evaluation and survey options, are not applicable and are not shown. Archive recording after specifies a length of time to retain the recording in immediately available storage. After this interval, Genesys Cloud moves the recording to long-term storage. Delete recordings after specifies the number of days before deleting the recording. Export copy of recordings automatically export recordings, including screen recordings if selected, to an AWS S3 bucket. Initiate screen recording specifies whether to start a screen recording. You can specify whether to record after call work and archive the recording. You must enter a delete date, and you can keep screen recordings for a maximum of 365 days. Assign evaluations by evaluators automatically creates the specified number of evaluations per time period for each evaluator specified in the policy. You can specify a form, one or multiple evaluators, when to assign evaluations, and the number of evaluations per time interval that the policy assigns to the selected quality evaluators. For example, if you specify 5 evaluators and choose 2 evaluations per day, Genesys Cloud will assign 5 evaluations x 2 times per day for a total of 10 evaluations per day. Assign evaluations by agents automatically creates the specified number of evaluations per time period for each agent listed in the matching criteria. Select the number of evaluations per time period, the time zone, evaluation form to use, specify the connected time, and one or multiple evaluators. Genesys Cloud assigns evaluations evenly among the selected evaluators. Assign evaluations by interactions automatically creates an evaluation for every matching interaction. You can specify a form and one or multiple evaluators. If multiple evaluators are specified, they will each be assigned the same set of interactions to evaluate. Assign calibration evaluations automatically creates a calibration evaluation for every matching interaction. You can specify a form, 2 or more evaluators, an expert evaluator, and a calibrator. This uses the evaluation forms we created previously. Under Surveys, Send Web Survey automatically sends a web survey email invitation for matching interactions. Select a survey form, survey invite flow, email domain, and number of invitations to send. This uses the survey forms we created previously. Let's review the Evaluators page next. If you click Evaluators under the Quality section, a page will open that lists all of the evaluators that have the evaluator role. You can search by name, to sort by group or work team. Under Evaluations Performed, it summarizes activity by the quality evaluated. Under Calibrations Performed, it summarizes the status of each calibration and the variation within scores for the interaction. You can click the form name to view the calibration. Next, we're going to talk about recording management. In recording management, under Quality, you can control recording settings for your organization. For screen recordings, you can limit the bandwidth used by screen recordings by setting a maximum number of simultaneous screen recordings. This setting can be particularly useful if you have quality management policies that automatically initiate a screen recording. You can have a maximum of 2,000 simultaneous screen recordings. For storage of call recordings, select to always store call recordings in your home region or to store call recordings in the region defined in your global media fabric trunk configuration. Orphaned recordings identifies recordings stored only on the Genesys Cloud Edge device. Click Update Settings if you have made changes you wish to save. The next one we are going to review is the Quality section is Topic Miner. Topic Miner analyzes voice and digital transcripts to discover topics and phrases of interest within a conversation. You can then use those topics and phrases to create topics in the Topic Miner. Topics are collections of phrases that indicate a business-level intent. Let's create our first miner. Click New Miner. Under Name, add a descriptive name for the miner. Click the language list and select the language in which to mine topics. Under Data Source, click Genesys Cloud. Under Date Range, use the calendars to select the date range in which the miner searches conversations between the agent and the customer. Under Media Type, select Chat, Call, or Message Transcripts. Click the Participants list and select whether to mine topics from internal agents, external customers, or both. Click the Queues list and select up to 5 queues from which to mine transcripts. Click Confirm. Let's continue on to Speech and Text Analytics. Speech and Text Analytics is a set of features that provide automated speech and text analytics capabilities on 100% of interactions to provide deep insight into customer-agent conversations. From the Speech and Text Analytics page, you can enable voice transcription, select a default program, and determine the dialects that should be analyzed in digital interactions. The voice transcription feature transcribes voice interactions in the contact center into written words that are stored as speaker-separated conversational text. A program is a set of instructions that tell speech and text analytics what to recognize in recorded conversations between contact center participants and customers in relation to a specific business issue. Selecting a dialect for digital interactions ensures that the system applies the correct analysis. First, we need to enable voice transcription. Under the Quality section, click Speech and Text Analytics. Select the Settings tab. Under Voice Transcription, select Enabled based on queue configuration or flow action. In order to complete voice transcription, we showed you when we created a queue how to enable transcription. For enabling it within call flows, work with your architect engineer to enable that. Under Text Analytics on digital interactions, enable it. Under Transcript Confidence Filter, set the minimum confidence threshold required for a word to be displayed in a transcript. The default value for word confidence is set to 40. Under Low Latency Transcription, select Enabled if you want to minimize the latency of all transcripts sent through the Notification API. Turn on Transcript Content Search if you want all voice transcripts and digital interaction content for the last 35 days to be searchable. Under Default Program, select the fallback program to use for topic detection if no program is mapped to a queue or flow. Click Save. The next exercise will discuss adding programs. Out-of-the-box topics are a good way to start the topic creation process, but since they are a product of similar organizations and not specifically your organization, it is highly recommended that you modify these topics to your own specific language and terminology when working with customers or referring to products and services. From Speech and Text Analytics, select the Actions tab. From the Select Dialect list, select the dialect that best represents your interactions. From the Add New Topics Only list, select one of the following. Add New Topics only enables you to add one or more topics to the topic list. Merge Topics and Phrases enables you to merge new topics with existing topics that have the same name and selected dialect. Click Generate. Next up, let's dive into sentiment feedback. Sentiment analysis works out of the box. For this reason, sentiment feedback does not need to be configured. Sentiment feedback only occurs when sentiment analysis errors must be fixed, specifically when a phrase is inaccurately labeled with a sentiment contrary to the user's expectations. Although the sentiment analysis results are derived from contact center-specific transcriptions and data, there are cases where organizations need to enhance the analysis by adding a phrase that conveys a specific sentiment. The phrases are dialect-specific and must be mapped to only one sentiment. Let's add our first sentiment feedback phrase. Click Sentiment Feedback from the Quality section. When the Sentiment Feedback page comes up, click on the Add Phrase button. In the Phrase field, enter the phrase. From the sentiment list, select positive, negative, or neutral. From the dialect list, select the language that must be associated with this new phrase. Click Add. Something to note. To delete a phrase from the sentiment feedback list, click the delete icon in the action column associated with the phrase you want to delete. Adding or removing a phrase from the sentiment feedback list does not add or remove sentiment markers in interactions, where this phrase may have been previously detected. The added phrase must have a minimum of 3 letters and a maximum of 20 words. We created a topic miner earlier. If you didn't run it then, go back to topic miner and run it. It will deliver a report about most commonly used phrases. In this example, exchange rate and bill payment was said in over 21% of calls. As you can see, you are able to select the phrases used from the report and add them to the topics. In this exercise, we are going to go to Topics and create one. Click the Create Topic button. In Topic Name, enter a unique name that is easy to correlate to the business issue. In Description, enter a free text description of the topic. The description is limited to 1,000 characters. A tag enables you to classify and group programs and topics. Select existing tags or create new tags. In the field provided, type the tag name. If the tag exists, it will appear in the tag list. If you are creating a new tag, the word will appear with new tag next to it. Press Enter to add the new tag. Program contains the number of programs associated with the selected topic. Click inside the Programs field to see the selected programs, to select or deselect programs, and to search for specific programs. Strictness indicates how strict the matching algorithm is when matching phrases in a transcript. The matching algorithm looks at phrase confidence after stemming to determine if the phrase is a match. Dialect indicates the dialect associated with the specific topic. Select a dialect from the Dialect field. Participants indicates the participant associated with this specific topic. Select from the following. External indicates that this specific topic will only be recognized when its phrases were said by the customer. Internal indicates that this specific topic will only be recognized when its phrases were said by IVR, ACT, agent, conference, or voicemail. Both indicates that this specific topic will only be recognized when its phrases were said by an external participant, internal participant, or both. Click the Phrases tab to add a list of phrases. Click Add Phrase. You can either enter a single phrase or upload a text file for multiple phrases. Select a strictness and click Add. Click Save Draft and Publish. Next up, our last topic in the Quality section, Programs. Programs are a package of topics that instruct the speech and text analytics feature about which business-level intents to look for in recorded conversations between interaction participants. Programs are mapped to specific cues or flows and can contain topics of varying languages or dialects. This is essential since different parts of the contact center may have different business interest intents. In the Quality section, click Programs. Click Create Program. Enter a unique name that is easy to correlate to the business issue. The program name is case-sensitive and is limited to 100 characters. Enter a free text description of the program. The program description is limited to 10,240 characters. A tag enables you to classify and group programs and topics. Select one or more existing tags and/or create one or more new tags. In the field provided, type the tag name. If the tag exists, it appears in the tag list. If you are creating a new tag, the word appears with new tag next to it. The tag name is case-sensitive and is limited to 100 characters. Press Enter to add the new tag. Select one or more cues to map to the program. Select one or more flows to map to the program. Click the Selected Topics tab to add one or more topics to the new program. Click the checkbox next to the topic or topics you want to add to the program. Click Save Draft to create the new program, then Publish. Now that we have made it through the Quality section, you should now have a better understanding around the workings of topics, sentiment feedback, and evaluations and surveys. Most of the time, supervisors will be responsible for the section we just covered, but it is a good idea for an administrator to have a general understanding so that you can provide support, if needed. That goes for the next section as well, Performance and Engagement. Let's jump over there. In the Performance and Engagement section, you can provide agents in your organization with the tools and motivation to improve their performance with development and feedback training modules and gamification. This is another section supervisors will create and manage. Having an administrator's understanding of this section will allow you to support this. Under Performance and Engagement, click Development and Feedback. This is where you can assign prepackaged Genesys Beyond training modules or create your own development and feedback modules for agents to bridge knowledge gaps and drive performance improvements. From this view, you can create new modules and filter the existing module list. Under Module Name is the name of the module. The Type column is one of the below. Learning enables agents to increase their knowledge. Learning with assessment enables agents to evaluate and increase their knowledge. Assessment enables agents to evaluate their knowledge through a standalone assessment. The Assigned column is how many users the module is assigned to. Completed is how many users have completed the module. Percentage passed is the percentage of users who passed the module. Average score is the average user score for the specific module. Status shows whether it has been published or not. Auto-assign indicates if auto-assign is on or off for the module. Scours indicates who created the module. In this hands-on, we will create a basic Learning with Assessment module, but we'll have hands-on documents for all three. Click New Module and select Learning with Assessment. From the Details tab, give the module a name and description. This information appears on the module landing page. In the Recommended Completion Date field, set a time frame to complete the module. In the Recommended Time to Complete fields, enter the number of hours and minutes to recommend that the agent takes to complete the module. In the Cover Image field, upload a cover image. Click Select Image. If you do not select an image, the system uses the default image. To add a new image to the list, click Upload. In the Module Creator, click the Content tab. To upload new content, click the Upload icon. If you want to use a file already in your documents, you can search for the document. Click the Filter button if you want to filter your results. To add more content, click Add Content and repeat the previous step. Reorder the content using the arrows in the Content row. Click the Assessments tab. Enter a pass mark % in the field provided. The user must achieve this score to pass the module. The pass mark appears at the bottom of the Details tab. Click under Question Group Name. Add a name of a question group. A question group is a label that categorizes a set of questions, for example, product knowledge. An enabled question group allows evaluators to select NA, which skips all questions in the group. Answers default to specifies whether you assign answers to the highest scoring answer or N by default. Display conditionally allows you to set criteria for whether this question group is shown. Also, this option does not appear in the first question group. It only appears in subsequent question groups. Insert a question type. By default, you can insert a multiple-choice yes/no or free text question. If they are available, then you can insert custom question types. This follows the same pattern as a survey or evaluation. To add another question to this question group, click Add Question again. To add a new question group, click the name of the current question group. Click Add Question Group. When you finish adding groups and questions, click Save or Save and Publish. In the Module Creator, click the Auto Assign tab. To assign modules automatically based on rules that you create, enable Auto Assign. Select Include or Exclude. Select the ACD Skills, Division, Group, and Queue. Add the lists of people that you want to include. The right column displays the people that belong to the list you add. If you want to add another rule, click Add Rule, and then repeat the previous steps. When you finish creating the rules, click Save. Click Workspace under Performance. Under Employment Engagement, select Agent Development. Click the Development tab. Choose the agent that you want to assign a module. Click the Assign Module button at the top of the page. In the field at the top of the Assign Module window, search for the module you want to assign. In the field at the top of the Assign Module window, search for the module you want to assign. From the list provided to the right of the search field, filter the module list. Scroll through the list of modules that appears and click Assign to assign a specific module. If a recommended duration is configured for a module, the recommended duration appears for the specific module. Either use the recommended or change the date to complete bot. Click Next. Review the details and click Confirm. To verify that the module is assigned successfully, open your inbox or open your activity page and search for the assigned module in the Assigned Modules section. Moving on to external metrics definitions. Performance management and gamification is focused on defining performance goals and expectations, and then measuring against these goals to see how individuals and teams are performing. This feature allows you to import external metrics and make them an integral part of an employee's performance scorecard. As a result, supervisors receive a single and complete view of agent performance on all key measures that your organization cares about. Some examples of external metrics are customer satisfaction scores, often from third parties, daily sales, first contact resolution rate, number of leads generated, number of visits booked, retention rate, refund rate, net promoter score. Click External Metric Definitions under Performance and Engagement. Click New External Metric. Enter the name of the type of external metric being defined under Metric Name. Under Metric Unit, select from either number, seconds, percent, or currency. The metric unit indicates the unit of measurement for the specific metric. Under Rounding Precision, select how many digits to round to when the metric is displayed in the UI. Default Objective Type indicates the default that will be used when a user tries to add this specific external metric to a gamification profile. Move the disabled slider to the right to enable the metric. Metric enablement takes effect immediately. Click Save Metric. Once the external metric definition is created and enabled, it can be added to one or more gamification profiles. Let's jump over to gamification settings to continue. Turn on gamification for your organization. Upon activation, Genesys Cloud begins viewing your defined objectives and assigns points based on performance. Granting the gamification permissions adds this feature to each user's activity page, allowing agents and supervisors to track performance and compare scores to others in your organization. Click Gamification Settings under Performance and Engagement. Select the Settings tab and under General enable the gamification toggle. In the Start Date box, type a date or select a date from the calendar. When auto-assignment is enabled, all users not a part of a gamification profile is assigned to the default profile. When a user is enrolled in gamification, the user may be billed for this functionality if gamification is not included in the organization's base subscription. The Actions tab, in the Start Date, will clear all personal bests achieved prior to the start date selected. This applies to all gamification profiles. The last thing left is to create profiles. Profiles allow you to measure the performance of individuals or a group of agents based on specific metrics that you configure. Profiles also allow you to set performance goals for a group of agents with shared performance goals. While your organization only has one default profile, you can create up to 100 profiles to suit your needs. Your organization has one default gamification profile. The default profile includes the default metrics, objectives, and membership that your organization uses. You can customize certain aspects of the default profile as needed as a fallback profile for your organization. However, you cannot rename or delete the default profile, and you cannot change its description, status, or division. Custom profiles are distinct profiles that you can create to measure the performance of select groups of agents. Let's create a custom profile by clicking New Profile. Name the profile and enter a description. Assign a division. Only users with the appropriate permissions for the division can view the profile. However, members of a profile can be from any division. Set a reporting interval. The default intervals are 4 weeks and 13 weeks, and the maximum intervals allowed are 90 days, 13 weeks, or 3 months. Enter the number of ranks to display on the leaderboard for each metric. Users who have the supervisor role or elevated permissions can see the top 300 ranks, regardless of this setting. Click Create Profile. Confirm whether you want to copy the default metrics or not. Now that you have created the profile, you now have access to the Metrics and Members tab. On Metrics, you will notice that metrics have been copied from the default profile. You can create another metric or copy a metric. Click Create Metric. Give a name to the metric and select the metric type. On the Objective tab in the Objective Type list, click the type of objective to use with this metric. Some metrics have a set objective type and you cannot change it. Set the upper and lower limits for each zone in the unit of measure for the objective type. Set the points to award when an agent's performance falls within a particular zone. You can specify a single point value or a range of points. To switch from one to the other, click the diagonal arrows beside the point box. To add members, click the Members tab, then Add Members. In the list box, click by agent, and in the search box begin typing the name of the agent you want to add. As you type, the search results adjust to only show the agents who match your search criteria. Click the agent to add and then click Add to List. Click Assign Agents. The selected agent is added to the members list. After you create a list of new or replacement members, the Confirm Assignment dialog box appears. Review the expected assignments and adjust the assignments as necessary. Then, click Confirm Assignment. Profile changes are effective immediately and reflected in agent scorecards, average team scores, and leaderboards. Gamification is a great way to use performance points and tracking to establish a clear coaching plan, create a culture of learning, promote fairness and transparency, and bring new agents up to speed faster. Performance points reward and motivate users to progress towards your goals. To recap, this module is designed to provide you with all the knowledge around quality, performance, and engagement to better assist the supervisors in creating and managing the different elements of these sections. As an administrator, you may not need to create and manage these items, but having a better understanding will help you guide the team that does need to understand and manage it. Just like previous modules, we have several hands-on exercises for you to download and complete. Thank you for completing Module 8. In Module 9, we will discuss telephony and trunk management. See you there.